But let's now talk about everything you should watch as we get into this trading session, as well as some of the individual stocks. So we have Ekta, Mangalam and Surbhi all here to take us through the trade setup this morning. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. Ekta, let me come to you first. We were speaking about this earlier as well, that we've definitely started this series very strong. But take us through everything that we should watch.
Thanks for that. Well, yes, the markets did break their 5-week losing streak on Friday. We had the markets which started the September series on a strong footing and posted the biggest single-day gain in 2 months on Friday's trading session. The India VIX, which is the volatility indicator, was down around 6% as well. Macros have supported us. GST collections for August were up 11% year-on-year. India manufacturing PMI at a 3-month high for August. Global cues intact overnight. US markets, like you mentioned, the Dow closed more than 100 points higher. Best week since July. The US unemployment rate came in at 3.8% versus estimates of 3.5%, and the US added more jobs in August than expected. This will all be precursors or important data points for the Fed when they meet on the 19th and 20th of September this month. Asia is largely mixed at this point in time. Gift Nifty is indicating a positive start. Watch for banks, which will be in focus on account of Uday Kotak stepping down a few months earlier than anticipated. Mid-caps outperforming. It was up 3% last week. And Brent crude, which is at multi-month highs. In terms of larger cues, we do have the G20 summit September 9th and 10th. We have the India CPI data, which is on the 12th of September, US CPI on 13th of September, and the Fed meet, like I mentioned, on the 19th and 20th of this month.
All right, so lots to track this month in terms of cues as well. Ekta, thanks a lot for that. But let me also go across to Surbhi now, who's going to take us through all of the stocks that we should watch. Surbhi, clearly the big news this weekend was, like Ekta mentioned, the news coming in from Uday Kotak resigning a little bit earlier than expected.
That's right. So the big one is going to be Kotak Mahindra Bank for today. Uday Kotak has resigned, as we all mentioned, effective 1st of September. Deepak Gupta will conduct the duties of MD and CEO until December 31st. That's when a new CEO will be appointed. Apart from that, August auto sales will be in focus. Eicher Motors, the total sales were up 11% on a year-on-year basis. And for Hero Motor, the total sales were up nearly 5.6% on a year-on-year basis. Tata Steel will also be on our radar. PTI reports that the company is in talks with the UK government to raise funds for the UK plant. ICICI Lombard, IRDAI has approved ICICI Bank to increase shareholding in Lombard in multiple tranches up to 4%. RVNL will also be on our radar. The company has won a 282 crore order from Madhya Gujarat Wijh Company Limited. The duration of this contract is 31 months. And lastly, GMR Power will be on our radar. The company receives a letter of award worth 5,100 odd crores from Purvanchal Vidyut Vitran Nigam in Uttar Pradesh.
All right, Surbhi, thanks a lot for taking us through that entire list. By the way, crude is almost at $90 a barrel, so watch out for that entire impact playing out on the stocks as well. But with that, let me toss it over to Mangalam, who's looking at cues from the futures and options space. Mangalam, looks like the start will be a little bit in the green, but how's everything else looking from here?
Well, the start will be in the green, and importantly, the start of the series was in green. And how, in fact, there was a big move that we saw on day one of the September series. On Friday itself, the Nifty rallied about 200 points from the day's low. If you just take a look at the levels, 19,250, which was an erstwhile support, was the one that acted as one as well, and we moved all the way up to 19,450 as well. And as on cue, we had purchase from both the DIIs and the FIIs in the cash market, so that was an added positive. Importantly, for most of the day, it was the Nifty Bank which was underperforming, but the second half, the rally was led by the Nifty Bank. So if you just take a look at the Nifty and the Nifty Bank by the side, the Nifty Bank moving up is powered the Nifty's engine ahead. Additionally, a lot of the shorts on the Nifty Bank and the Nifty were caught on the wrong side, and which is why if you just take a look at it, both the open interest on the Nifty and the Nifty Bank did see some unwinding, telling you that people had to cover some of their short positions. In index futures, however, the FI has bought about 100 odd crores. Their net long exposure still stands at 51%, and that's the big reason that we need to know whether this up move sustains or not. Why is that? Because in option selling, there is an equal number of call and put selling, a little more put selling than call selling by the FIs. They sold about 3.41 lakh puts as against 2.19 lakh calls, telling you on the way up there may be some resistance, but at the same time support has moved higher as well. So let's take a look at some of these active options. 19,300 put, extremely active in yesterday's in Friday's trading session. 19,350 put as well as 19,500 call. That's telling you that the range of the Nifty has now moved higher from 19,250 to around 19,350 on the way lower, and on the way up we are looking at levels upwards of 19,500 as well. The Nifty is crossed past important congestion zone where the both 50 and the 20-day moving averages were placed. base. So now we have to sustain above that and gain for further up move out there. The Nifty Bank that crossed the 20-day moving average on Friday now awaits some resistance at the 50-day moving average of 44,785. The question is whether it sustains above that or not. And finally, in terms of stocks, watching out for Indiabulls Housing Finance, we pointed out that there is a likelihood it will go into F&O ban, and yes, it has indeed.
All right, Mangalam, thanks a lot for that. Those are the cues from the futures and options space. But with that, it is time for a short break on the show. When we come back, the big news, we will get you excerpts from our exclusive conversation with Uday Kotak, who's outgoing MD and CEO of Kotak Mahindra Bank after the announcement of his resignation. So stay tuned for that very interesting chat.